Hey y'all, hey. Checking in. It's a beautiful sunny day. I can tell I need to water the garden, so I'll be doing that soon. Just came out on a quick break. Um, and I wanted to open a vlog. I don't know what all will be in this vlog, but I just want y'all to hang out with me for a little while. I do have a topic of discussion for y'all, and it is kind of bouncing off some of the things that I've been talking about. Um, Moving away from church in general in my discussion, but just moving towards the need for us to be curious and the need for us to ask questions, and how by being curious and asking questions, it may keep us from being duped and deceived. I think about some situations that I've been hearing about lately about people, and I'm going to say it like this, being scammed. Not saying they weren't scammed, but we have to kind of think about what is the driving motivation on why we get scammed or fall into situations that are not beneficial to us. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to call y'all back later. I was talking earlier about our need to be curious, and our curiosity, actually, it might not always, but it could possibly help you not get scammed. Okay? But I also would say curiosity and a drive to do things on your own and not to just wait for things to be given to you, to not believe that life doesn't require a little striving, a little get up and get out and get something. But let me just start with curiosity. Sometimes we may look at someone who looks more successful than we do. They look the part. They look like they have something that we don't have. And so we tend to be more willing to listen to what they say, believe what they say. And I am going to say that sometimes it makes us want to have what they want. And I am really concerned about us always wanting to have exactly what somebody else wants. And when I say wants, I mean what someone else has. That is a setup sometimes. I think it's important that we have, people who inspire us. I think it's good to be inspired by others. Like, for example, if you want your education and want to be educated, and you have a mentor who's educated or striving for their education and sacrificing and making things happen, it's good to have that as a motivation for you to do what you need to do. Okay? But sometimes we just see others with certain things and they become the expert on everything in our minds. And sometimes you have people in those roles and positions that manipulate others. Sometimes it's a facade. They act like they have it all together. They show themselves as the wealthy one, the all-knowing one, and they ain't got they together, okay? But yet they're asking you for something. They're asking you to put in on something. And if you do, you can be just like them. Y'all, that's a setup. I'm gonna tell you what I know. Okay, I'm telling you what I know. There's a lot of manipulators out there that have you feed into them. And be careful of anyone that says, you giving to me is going to benefit you. If you got to feed into someone and that is the way that you're going to be benefited, instead of feeding into yourself, I'm going to give you a prime example. Say they say, I'm going to just use a small example. Say they say, okay, I got this business, so you give me $50, and when my business, and because you're blessing my business, you blessing and giving into me this money is going to bless you. What's the truth? How will that bless you? If you choose to be a blessing to them, that's okay. But what's going to bless you is to take your money and invest in yourself. Do for yourself. Take your money and let it go into your savings account, or go into your investment account, or upgrade your home, or get something that's going to benefit you. Be careful of people who do that, and sit back and watch what they do. Oh, and some of them have the for-show example of them investing into, watch me invest into this pot. I'm putting it here. I'm also putting it here. And see, I'm getting blessed. Well, that's because they've encouraged so many others to invest in them. Okay? That, I'm telling you, give what your heart tells you to give. But if you're doing it to become rich, and because someone told you that if you do this, it's going to bless you and make you rich, or make you like me, nope. And people are being duped right now. Ooh, sorry about that. People are being duped right now because I hate to say it, they wanted the easy way. They would rather give a little money than go get it. Go get the job. Go work it out. Invest your time in yourself, or take the time, because some people have actually increased over the years. And so sometimes you're looking at what took years to get. Okay? So don't be so easily duped. And that's going to lead me to another question. I'll call y'all back on this, because what's bringing this to mind is some things that I've been seeing happening, first to a group of women, but I'll even talk to you about something that I got caught up in. And I question myself sometimes about, how did I let that happen? Okay, y'all, so hear me out on this. Be curious. If people approach you with multi-level marketing, if you give me $500, $200, $50, the next group of people behind you will pay you and you'll get triple the money. Flower schemes, again, multi-level marketing, anything, even if you're selling stuff, if the focus becomes, even if they have a product, say they're selling travel, say they're selling investing, like Forex, say they're selling products, but if in the end you hear more emphasis placed on getting people behind you to invest, all I'm going to tell you to do is run, Forrest, run. This topic has been on my mind to share for a little while, because I recently heard of and I was going to look up the name and share the name of the group, but I'm not going to do that, because first of all, I believe some of you have already heard of it and you're aware of it, but I don't even want to get caught up in the name of the group, because we just need to be on the lookout, period, of things such as this. But this was a women's group that was a Facebook group, and I don't think it was only local to my area, but I know quite a few women from my area were involved on this Facebook group, but I know other women around the country were also. So anyway, it was advertised as a women's empowerment group, and the main focus of this group was to let people live their best life. In this group, you put out there what it was you wanted to do. If it was travel, if it was some type of luxury item, if you were trying to save for college, for your kids' college, for a down payment on something, you put your desire out there in some kind of way. I'm just going to put it like that. People would invest dollars into your goals or dreams, and everybody was supposed to win. In the end, it was exposed, and I don't know how long it took, but in the end, it was exposed that the leader of the group, a young woman, and when I say young, based on my age, she was a young woman, so I don't have her exact age, but a few at the top of this Facebook group were the ones winning. People started finding out that trips that they claimed they were going on for these drastically discounted rates were being canceled. Anytime people complained in the group that they didn't get what was promised, because all posts had to be vetted, you know how sometimes Facebook groups do that, they weren't actually getting shared. So people were missing and not knowing that the facade was falling apart. So it took me back when I saw that. And I mean, it was just kind of unbelievable, let me just say, that people were losing tens of thousands of dollars. You know, that was blowing my mind. But I started thinking on, why do we get caught up in stuff like that? Why? And I have to say, I'm speaking for myself, because I've done certain things before, such as, it was back in 2020, you know, during that time. And I often think, because I thought to myself, why did I get myself in that? Why did I allow myself to get involved in the flower thing, that thing that was going around Facebook? And why did I get talked into it and then talk some other people into it? And by the time I talked to some people into it, man, them people right behind me got left in the dust. And number one, I felt terrible. But also, like, but why? Why invest in, what was that? Like, what were you getting from that? You were just getting quick money. But why are we looking for quick money? Why are we so, why? And I'm saying things, but I want to step back and separate. Maybe I was bored. It was chaotic in the world. It was something at the time that I was involved in that. I guess it was something to do. I knew the people who asked me, they were close to me, people who asked me to get involved. The people who I asked to get involved, they were close to me. And I felt terrible with some of them being out of their money. And I felt like it kind of is a reputation ruiner, in my opinion. But then when I look at some of the reasons that some of the women, I looked at some of their stories who got involved in that local women's empowerment group or the women's empowerment group, and the things that they were going for. A lot of them were going for to live that glamorous life. They were putting their dreams out there, but it would have been a way to accomplish those dreams for nothing. It was like other people were funding it. And why are we looking for stuff like that? That to me it helps you get set up easier. I mean, for people to set you up, for people to scam you. When you're looking for something for nothing, you are open to people scamming you. My mother used to have a saying, and I don't know if you can call it a saying, but she was consistently saying, ain't nothing free. Nothing is free. Something will always be expected on the other side of it. And I used to look at her like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? It's the truth. Ain't nothing free. My mother-in-law used to say to my husband when we were kids, because I knew my husband at a young age, you don't have no friends. You don't have no friends. Now hear me out. That's a hard saying. But the truth of the matter, we are quick to call people our friends who mean us no good. So her words of saying you don't have no friends, it's just like a wake-up call. It's just a wake-up call. You need to be super discerning about who you get close to and who you allow to get close to you. Same thing what my mom said. Ain't none for free. There's always a cost on the other end, and we need to find a way to protect ourselves and not be so ready for these lives that are being portrayed online. It's all fake news. It's smoke and mirrors. It's not real. And if we keep chasing that stuff, we will always be set up for the okie doke, to be scammed. I've been wanting to talk about this. I want to know what you think. It's the truth. And if you know of people who are being scammed, and it's not just the old, elderly, it's not just the young and naive, it's everybody in between. But a lot of times it has to do with our lack of curiosity, our lack of asking questions, our rush and wanting something quick. Sometimes you got to pay for what you want, pay with your time, pay with your money, pay with your sweat equity to get the things that you end up getting. A lot of times people these days want quickly what people took years and years to get. Years and years. And investments and taking chances and spending money and cultivating. Some people just want it without having to do anything for it. So anyway, tell me what you think. All right, I'm going to end this. I'll probably call y'all back tomorrow. Take care.